Is that wonder? Does it say wonder, part 1? Yes. So underneath number 8 on your wonder vocabulary, draw your squiggly line. And then write today's date. October 20th, 2020. And then you can take up 2 lines with this. Wonder, part 1, chapters 23 through 26. Because PE does normally start a little bit early, we might be doing comprehension questions for homework instead of a reading log. But we'll see. That means you'll have to answer 2, but it will mean you need they have to be good answers, like what we've been doing. Some of you are getting better. Some of you still need to work on it. Remember, if you have low 90s, upper 80s, you're getting there. You just need to move, you just need to put a little more thought. If you have upper 90s and hundreds, you're doing awesome. Watch your grammar is probably the only thing. That's probably the only thing getting you under 100. If you have upper 90s. If you have upper 80s to lower 90s, you're getting there. You just need to put a little more thought. If you have low 80s or below, you really need to work on it. Okay, so Wonder Part 1, Chapter 23 through 26, along with today's date. And then we're starting with number 9. Number 9 is the word hysterically. 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 Yes?
Can you please spell that again?
If you were listening instead of raising your hand while I was spelling. Hysterically. Zadie, these will be your words, so make sure that you are really being observant. Yes, what's your question?
Since Wonder is a name of a book, wouldn't it be underlined?
The whole thing is underlined because it's the title of the notes. I just keep forgetting. But yes, if it was just Wonder by itself, yes. Or italics, but since we can't really write in italics, that's only for typing.
I underlined the whole.
Yeah. Hysterically is an adverb. That means it is a describing word, but it describes a verb. Remember, an adjective is a describing word that describes a noun. An adverb is a describing word that describes a verb. So it says how something was done. It is an adverb, and it means that something is happening uncontrollably. Don't write uncontrollably yet because, yes, I did spell it right. Okay. So hysterically, hysterically, is an adverb. That means it describes a verb. It means that something is happening uncontrollably. Usually, it's laughing or crying. Mason. Those are usually the things that happen hysterically, or laughing or crying. You're laughing hysterically or you're crying hysterically. There are some other things that can happen, but it's mostly, you would mostly just use it to describe how somebody is laughing or how somebody is crying. That means they can't stop. Uncontrollably means they can't control it. They can't stop laughing, they can't stop crying. So again, hysterically, T-E-R-I-C-A-L-L-Y is an adverb. That means it describes a verb. And it means that something is happening uncontrollably. It means it can't stop. It's usually used to describe how somebody is laughing or how somebody is crying. Here's the word in context. Jack clapped his hand over his forehead and started laughing hysterically. Yes.
Will you spell uncontrollably?
Yes. U-N-C-O-N-T-R-O-L-L-A-B-L-Y. So that sentence in context, Jack clapped his hand over his forehead and started laughing hysterically. Hysterically is describing laughing. It's saying how he was laughing. He was laughing without being able to stop. Yes, Sadie.
Can you spell happening because of the glare?
Happening is H-A-P-P-E-N-I-N-G. Okay. Is everybody ready to move on? Okay. Number 10. We only have 2 words today. Number 10 is the word monument, which some of you looked up in the dictionary a few weeks ago for your daily precept. Monument. M-O-N-U-M-E-N-T. Monument. M-O-N-U-M-E-N-T. Monument is a noun. The thing. Remember, nouns are people, places, things, or ideas. A monument is a thing. It is something built in memory of someone or something. So a monument, M-O-N-U-M-E-N-T, is a noun. It is something built in memory of someone or something. And here's the word in context. Mr. Brown's precept for October was, your deeds are your monuments. That was one of our daily precepts. It was our October 1st precept. Because whatever our daily precept is for the first day of the month comes straight from Wonder. It's whatever Mr. Brown's precept for that month was. So your deeds are your monuments. If a monument is something built in memory of someone or something, that means your deeds, the things you do, create your monument. That's what people remember you by. Does everybody understand that precept now? It might be a question. Okay, here it is in, oh wait, I already said it in context. Everybody good on vocabulary? Once you're done writing the vocabulary, go ahead and put your vocabulary notebook away and get out Wonder. Okay, go ahead and open your books up to page 63. Okay, this is kind of a short section. Okay, we're on page 63. Use your finger to follow along. Try to keep your head off of your hands too, because sometimes that means that you're just kind of resting and then you start to get comfortable and then start to zone out a little. So also you probably need one hand to hold your book and the other hand to follow along, so you really don't have an extra hand. Okay, so we're on page 63. Make sure you are following along with your finger. Chapter 23, Jack Will. I hung out with Jack in homeroom, English, history, computer, music, and science, which were all the classes we had together. The teachers assigned seats in every class, and I ended up sitting next to Jack in every single class, so I figured either the teachers were told to put me and Jack together, or it was a totally incredible coincidence. I walked to classes with Jack too. I know he noticed kids staring at me, but he pretended not to notice. One time, though, on our way to history, this huge 8th grader who was zooming down the stairs 2 steps at a time accidentally bumped into us at the bottom of the stairs and knocked me down. As the guy helped me stand up, he got a look at my face, and without even meaning to, he just said, "Whoa." Then he patted me on the shoulder like he was dusting me off and took off after his friends. For some reason, me and Jack started cracking up. "That guy made the funniest face," said Jack as we sat down at our desks. "I know, right?" I said. "He was like, whoa." I swear, I think he wet his pants. We were laughing so hard that the teacher, Mrs. Rocha, had to ask us to settle down. Later, after we finished reading about how ancient Sumerians built sundials, Jack whispered, "Do you ever want to beat those kids up?" I shrugged. "I guess. I don't know." "I'd want to. I think you should get a secret squirt gun or something and attach it to your eye somehow. And every time someone stares at you, you would squirt them in the face." "With some green slime or something," I answered. No, with slug juice mixed with dog pee." "Yeah," I said, completely agreeing. "Guys," said Mr. Rocha from across the room, "people are still reading." We nodded and looked down at our books. Then Jack whispered, "Are you always going to look this way, August? I mean, can't you get plastic surgery or something?" I smiled and pointed to my face. "Hello, this is after plastic surgery." Jack clapped his hand over his forehead and started laughing hysterically. "Dude, you should sue your doctor," he answered between giggles. This time, the two of us were laughing so much we couldn't stop, even after Mr. Rocha came over and made us both switch chairs with the kids next to us. Chapter 24. Mr. Brown's October Precept. Mr. Brown's precept for October was, "Your deeds are your monuments." He told us that this was written on the tombstone of some Egyptian guy that died thousands of years ago. Since we were just about to start studying ancient Egypt and history, Mr. Brown thought this was a good choice for a precept. Our homework assignment was to write a paragraph about what we thought the precept meant or how we felt about it. This is what I wrote. This precept means that we should be remembered for the things we do. The things we do are the most important things of all. They are more important than what we say or what we look like. The things we do outlast our mortality. The things we do are like monuments that people build to honor heroes after they've died. They're like the pyramids that the Egyptians built to honor the pharaohs. Only instead of being made out of stone, they're made out of the memories people have of you. That's why your deeds are like your monuments, built with memories instead of with stone. Chapter 25. Apples. My birthday is October 10th. I like my birthday. 10/10. It would have been great if I'd been born at exactly 10:10 in the morning or at night, but I wasn't. I was born just after midnight, but I still think my birthday is cool. I usually have a little party at home, but this year I asked Mom if I could have a big bowling party. Mom was surprised but happy. She asked me who I wanted to ask for my class, and I said everyone in my homeroom plus Summer. "That's a lot of kids, Augie," said Mom. "I have to invite everyone because I don't want anybody to get their feelings hurt if they find out other people are invited and they aren't, okay?" "Okay," Mom agreed. "You even want to invite the what's the deal kid?" "Yeah, you can invite Julian," I answered. "Geez, Mom, you should forget about that already." "I know, you're right." A couple of weeks later, I asked Mom who was coming to my party, and she said Jack Will, Summer, Reed Kingsley, both Maxes, and a couple other kids said they were going to try to be there. Like who? Well, Charlotte's mom said Charlotte had a dance recital earlier in the day, but she was going to try to come to your party if time allowed. And Tristan's mom said he might come after his soccer game. "So that's it?" I said. "That's like 5 people." "That's more than 5 people, Augie. I think a lot of people just had plans already," Mom answered. We were in the kitchen. She was cutting one of the apples we had just gotten at the farmer's market into teensy-weensy pieces so I could eat it. What kind of plans? I asked. I don't know, Augie. We sent out the Evites kind of late. Like, what did they tell you, though? What reasons did they give? Everyone gave different reasons, Augie. She sounded a bit impatient. Really, sweetie, it shouldn't matter what their reasons were. People had plans, that's all. What did Julian give as his reason? I asked. You know, said Mom, his mom was the only person who didn't RSVP at all. She looked at me. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I laughed because I thought she was making a joke, but then I realized she wasn't. What does that mean? I asked. Never mind. Now go wash your hands so you can eat. My birthday party turned out to be much smaller than I thought it would be, but it was still great. Jack, Summer, Reed, Tristan, and both Maxes came from school. And Christopher came too, all the way from Bridgeport with his parents. And Uncle Ben came. And Aunt Kate and Uncle Poe drove in from Boston, though Tata and Papa were in Florida for the winter. It was fun because all the grown-ups ended up bowling in the lane next to ours, so it really felt like there were a lot of people to celebrate my birthday. Chapter 26, Halloween. At lunch the next day, Summer asked me what I was going to be for Halloween. Of course, I'd been thinking about it since last Halloween, so I knew right away. Boba Fett. You know you can wear a costume to school on Halloween, right? No way, really? So long as it's politically correct. What, like no guns and stuff? Exactly. What about blasters? I think a blaster is like a gun, Augie. Oh man, I said, shaking my head. Boba Fett has a blaster. At least we don't have to come like a character in a book anymore. In the lower school, that's what you had to do. Last year, I was the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. But that's a movie, not a book. Hello, Summer answered. It was a book first. One of my favorite books in the world, actually. My dad used to read it to me every night in the first grade. When Summer talks, especially when she's excited about something, her eyes squint like she's looking right at the sun. I hardly ever see Summer during the day, since the only class we have together is English. But ever since that first lunch at school, we've sat at the summer table together every day, just the two of us. So what are you gonna be? I asked her. I don't know yet. I know what I really want to go as, but I think it might be too dorky. You know, Savannah's group isn't even wearing Halloween costumes this year. They think we're too old for Halloween. What? That's just dumb. I know, right? I thought you didn't care what those girls think. She shrugged and took a long drink of her milk. So, what dorky thing do you want to dress up as? I asked her, smiling. Promise not to laugh. She raised her eyebrows and her shoulders, embarrassed. A unicorn. I smiled and looked down at my sandwich. Hey, you promised not to laugh. She laughed. Okay, I said. But you're right, that is too dorky. I know, she said, but I have it all planned out. I'd make the head out of paper mache and paint the horn gold and make the mane gold too. It would be so awesome. Okay, I shrugged, then you should do it. Who cares what other people think, right? Maybe what I'll do is just wear it for the Halloween parade, she said, snapping her fingers. And I'll just be like a goth girl for school. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'll do. Sounds like a plan, I nodded. Thanks, Augie, she giggled. You know, that's what I like best about you. I feel like I can tell you anything. Yeah, I answered, nodding. I gave her a thumbs up sign. Cool beans. Okay, that was short. Who heard the word hysterically? Victoria.
I heard it when Jack was laughing.
What was he laughing about? What was the situation that was going on? Why was he laughing hysterically? Ethan? What were they talking about? it wasn't quite there yet. That was he didn't talk to Jack about that. Zadie?
When they were in class and they were talking about August's face.
Okay, good. And what specifically made them laugh hysterically? What about August's face? Victoria, do you remember?
Jack.
What did August said?
August said he pointed out his face and he said, "This is after plastic surgery."
Very good. Okay, who heard monument? Carla.
The things we do like monuments that people build under heroes after they die.
Good. So it was, monument was, it was part of Mr. Brown's October precept that your deeds are your monuments. It was saying whatever you do is what people will remember you for. Just like people go see monuments to remember a person or an event, your deeds are your monuments means what you do is what people will remember you by. Okay. Close your journals. Even though you've already written, because I don't want anybody starting, you should have already written Wonder Part 1, chapters 23 through 26, and today's date at the top. Okay, read the questions while I read them out loud. So girls, you should have your printed questions out. Please do not write on them. Number 1, what do the conversations between Jack, Will, and August show about their relationship? So those conversations they were having towards the beginning of this section, what does that tell you about their friendship? Make sure that you are answering detailed. Mason, make sure that your reading journal's closed. You can finish the title and everything later. So what do those conversations tell you about Jack and August and their friendship? Make sure that you have a detailed answer. So maybe mention what they talked about, like mention what they actually talked about. That's using text evidence. And then say, I think it says that they are blah, 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 blah. Make sure you have good detail and well thought out answers. Some of you are putting these like really quick answers and you have 15 minutes. So you definitely have more time than that. I can tell. I mean, it takes like 5 minutes to write some of what you guys are doing. Number 2, what is Mr. Brown's October precept? Why do you think this precept might be especially significant to August? So that means you're writing the October precept, but you're not telling what you think it means like we did in the questions yesterday. You're saying, why do you think it's important to August? Don't tell me what he thinks it means. Why do you think it's especially important to August? Don't tell me what you think it means, what he thinks it means. That's not what the question is asking. It's asking, why do you think it might mean more to August than anybody else? Number 3, explain what August's mom means when she says, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Why does she say this? So you have to say what you think this sentence, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, means. What do you think it means? And then why do you think she said it? Number 4, how is Summer different from the other girls in 5th grade? So remember, when it's time, you must write the question with the answer. With the number. Answer with at least 2 complete sentences. A lot of these will require more than 2, so just because you're done with 2 sentences does not mean you're done. Answer with at least 2 complete sentences. Use correct grammar. And text evidence when needed. Write the whole question. Don't try to get away with just writing part of it and being like, oops, I forgot. No, you didn't. You're just trying to get away with not answering the whole question. Write the whole question with the number. Skip 1 line, not 6, not 4, not 3, just 1. write the answer. Good, complete, well thought out, well written answers. Skip one line and then repeat until time is up. Now some of you are getting two questions and then nothing else. But your 2 questions have 2 of the shortest, most basic answers I've ever read. It doesn't take 15 minutes to do that. That takes about 5. 2 good, well thought out answers with the question should take about a whole page. So if your questions, if you have 2 and you're like halfway down the page, well, you definitely are not really thinking about your answers. Okay, when I say go, girls, I know what I assigned to you. I don't need to see them, okay? You just need to have them out. Because I need you to be listening. Okay, when I say go, you will have 15 minutes. Make sure that if you did not finish writing the title of today's journal and today's date, that you finish that first. Then pick the question that you think you can give the best answer to. Do that one first. Once you finish that one, pick the question that you think you can give the second best answer to. Then finish that one second. You may use your book, but try to use it as little as possible. Michaela, I haven't said to go yet. And that was already supposed to be done. Please follow directions. Go. Yes, sorry, quickly.
I made